Ora, bom dia a todos. Bem-vindos a mais uma conversa com mentores. Hoje vamos falar com Christina Skytt, uma das pessoas que faz parte do meu livro e que faz parte da minha história. Ela foi a primeira executive coach a trabalhar na Suécia há muitos anos atrás, vinda do mundo empresarial, acabou por descobrir esta vocação. Foi a primeira pessoa a fazê-lo. É a fundadora da Power Goals Academy, autora de 2 livros best-sellers internacionais, trabalhou décadas com empresas e eu tive o gosto e o prazer de trabalhar com ela. Por isso, hoje, para todos vocês, Christina Skytt. Hello, Christina! How are you, my friend?
I'm very good. It's so lovely to see you again.
Oh, thank you. Do you remember the first time we met?
Oh, I sure do.
8 years ago, I think. I had more hair, definitely. And
yes.
It was in the United States, right?
It was. It was with Jack Canfield.
Yes.
We were doing a training together and it was just love at first sight.
I remember I was just a humble guy in the middle of the crowd and you told the yellow house story, the story on how you managed to find your house, writing things down. I think it's a story for another interview, but anyway. And I was like, hello, can I have a minute with you? Do you remember something like this, right?
I do.
So I'm remembering the story and I'm thinking, well, I'm so different now. So much more bold and well.
And you've grown, which is the best part, because you make yourself grow. You put yourself out there, and that's the way to grow.
But how do you remember that moment? Tell me a bit, because we never had a conversation about this. How do you remember that first moment in which the Portuguese guy came from nowhere? Tell me a bit.
Well, you just came up to me and said, that was a great story. It sounded like magic. How did you do that? I want to do that too. And so we started talking and we kept the conversation going and I helped you with a few things and then we kept in contact.
And 1 year later, I was in Stockholm.
And this crazy guy calls me and says, I'm in Stockholm and I need somewhere to sleep. Can I sleep at your house? Yeah, I'll come and get you.
Yes, it was nice. You know, that actually was the first bath from my trip. You know, I was, it was, I think, the 4th day traveling. So it was the first shower and the first bed and so it was very, 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 very good for my body, but also for my soul, let's say.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Thank you for that. So from there, we kept communicating, and then I almost went to Sweden twice, I think. And then we were speaking about going to Spain now, and well, so coronavirus. How are you? How's Spain? How's Mallorca? Tell me a bit. How's the situation in there?
Well, you mean regarding the corona?
Yes.
Or in general? Well, no. I think in most part, I mean, in Madrid and Barcelona and some of the big cities, the other big cities, it's pretty bad. Here in Mallorca, it's not that bad. It's an island, so it's kept to itself. It hasn't been bad, and they've been very strict. So we have been locked in for 6 weeks now, which for a person like me, who is very much about going outside and meeting people and, exploring. And the reason why we're here in Mallorca is because we love being up in the mountains and we love being in the sea. And now we can only look at the sea and look at the mountains. But
do you have sun at least? You have a balcony, right?
We have a balcony, and
okay,
I'm so grateful. And we have a dog, which I'm also very.
So you are first class on the isolation process, right?
Yeah, totally. But also, I feel that this is actually a moment of reflection. It's not a bad thing. I mean, it's terrible in so many ways, but it's so amazingly good in so many ways. Nature is recovering.
Okay.
We as people are recovering in the sense that we have to step back. We have to slow down. We have to go. When we can't go outside, we have to go inside. And I mean, I've always said that I wanted to meditate, and I've never really taken my time to meditate. And now I'm doing it every day. And it's like a new revelation. It's great.
Well,
so learning a lot.
It's also an opportunity, basically, right?
Definitely.
So, any suggestion for people on that? Because for some people, this is the worst thing it could happen. For some of them, it's like the best thing in the world. So, for those that are in, let's say, in pain, suffering, any suggestion? Any practical one apart from meditate?
Well, apart from meditation is actually a good thing. It's hard to calm down your mind in a situation like this. But I was just coaching somebody on this, a woman in the UK. I was talking to her yesterday, and she was so stressed out. And she has, small kids, and she doesn't know what to do with them, and she has her job, and she doesn't know how to get that to work. And I just said, calm down during the weekend, really, stop everything and just start focusing on what you're grateful for, because they're in this mess. There are lots of things to be grateful for.
Oh, yes. And
just having your family around can be stressful, but it can also be the most amazing time to reconnect with your kids. The fact that the sun is shining, the fact that we actually do have food on our table.
Yes.
I know that when we started this process here in Spain, people were going crazy because nobody thought that there would be food because this is an island. So we thought that there wouldn't be any transportation here. But we have food, and we take time to cook our food much better than before.
Exactly.
So, I don't know, gratitude, making a gratitude list in the morning when you wake up, to really figure out what is it that I am happy about. That raises your vibration.
Okay.
And then when you go to sleep at night, before you go to sleep, again, what was good about this day?
This day, yes.
So that way you will have a restful, nice sleep. And
then you can restart all over again next day.
Exactly.
Okay. So you're telling me about coaching someone in UK. Let's go back in history. So you came from the business area, right?
Yeah.
How the hell do you coaching? Explain me. It was like 5 years ago, I imagine, right? Way back in time in Sweden.
No,
nobody
was
doing that.
Way back. It was interesting. I went to business school. And then I started working in international business. I started, my first job was in South America, lived in Buenos Aires and Rio and all over. Then I continued for about 15 years. And after the IT crash, remember the 2000, it was going up and then everything was going down.
Down, yes.
I was in that business, and I was the one who was hiring all these people, doing the sales, being the director for all the marketing. And we were promising people things that, were never possible to deliver. And then it all crashed, and we had to tell people that they had to leave the company. Okay. And this was incredibly stressful. So after all that, I went to San Francisco to visit my brother who lived there. And I just stumbled upon something called coaching.
Okay.
And I thought, this is, only for personal coaching. There was no such thing as business coaching or executive coaching or, what we now know as the normal. But at the time, there was no such thing. And I thought, but this is excellent. Because it's not rocket science, it's not super difficult.
Yes.
But it is to find that spark within you. So instead of getting it from the outside, a boss telling you, this is what you have to do, instead finding from the inside, this is what I want to do.
Okay.
And I thought, this is what I want to, spend my life helping people, growing and becoming better, and companies being, the best they can be. So I started taking the courses that were available, which were not many.
So, right.
one in the US, one in Australia, and one in London.
Okay, worldwide, definitely.
And I put it all together with all the experience I had from being a boss, working in the international business. And I took it all back to Sweden. I created my own process, which I now call the Power Goals process.
Okay.
It's about setting big life-changing goals. And that can be in business and it can be in your personal life. It all goes together.
Okay, I have that book over there on my desk. It's one of my workbooks.
I have one here.
It's the same.
Yeah. Well, it's a while ago.
It was like 2015, 16?
That I wrote the book?
Yes.
2015.
15, okay. Mm-hmm. So you went back to Sweden and you started to do that, and then your career evolved from that to what's today, right?
And I actually started working with companies and teams, doing coaching on the executive level, because I thought, where is this going to make the most impact in a positive way? Well, if I work with the CEOs, then all that can, frizzle down into the organization. And it worked. It was
you know what? I have a rule in my work with companies. I'll never work. I don't work with companies in which the CEO says, "Oh, please fix them."
Yeah.
But I don't want to work. I don't want to change. Oh, no. They are wrong. Please fix them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't
because
work.
The feeling is that, well, unless is doing a spin-off process, let's say, unless he is ending his career in the company, he will be leading them anyway. So if he is not in the mood or in the correct vibe, nothing works, or nothing changes, at least. So
do you know what I call that?
No.
I also always check, and I call it, are they coachable or not? Because to be coachable, you have to really say yes to the process, even though it is not always comfortable, because it's not. Change is not always comfortable.
Usually it's not. It isn't. That's
no.
it. So from there, you're now in Spain, sunny place, lockdown, finding your. Is there something changing due to the isolation and the lockdown? Are you feeling something different? How are you taking advantage of this process? Let's say this way. Meditation, we already know, right? Is there something different from this process?
Yes. Well, I'm still working online with my clients, so that can still continue. I have more time with my husband, so we're actually focusing on our relationship in a good way, because it's easy, and we have been doing this, just sort of taking it for granted. And
I agree totally on that.
Yeah, it's difficult to make a relationship grow if you don't put any water into it.
You have to put the effort, the energy on a conscious level, Yeah. So you're doing your personal journey. Well, this is crazy, because usually we think that, we have this guru, he's an expert, he knows everything, he's like 30 years in business and 30 years in coaching and all those things. But then when I interview, every single one of them says the same thing. When I interview them, it's like, no, we are still growing. Yeah. But you're supposed to be the experts and stuff. Yes, but the experts also are in a growing process. So I think this is a strong message.
And I'm actually doing one thing that is taking advantage of the fact that things have slowed down.
Okay.
I'm taking an online course right now.
Okay.
Also from somebody who knows different things from what I know.
Okay, understand.
So that is also about growing, and it's just filling up. Have to get inspiration from other people. We don't know the exact same things, none of us.
So even if you have 30 years experience in some field, you can grow, and you should grow, and that's a good thing, right?
Well, I know that you and I have Jack Canfield as a guru, but I also have Bob Proctor as somebody who's been very important in my life. But he always says that either you grow or you die.
Yes.
And I believe that, if you sit down and just say, no, that's it. I don't want to do anymore. No more experience, no more growing, no more learning, nothing.
That's it.
Well,
I'm done.
yeah. Well, then, hey, you're going to be
dying.
done. You will be done.
Okay. My dear, it was wonderful to have you here. Do you have a final message for the Portuguese people?
Yeah, I want to remind you, stay in there and be grateful for everything that is working. It is so super important to, to focus on the negativity.
Mm-hmm.
That only gives you more negativity. If you focus on the positivity, it will give you more positivity, and you will.
Just to make this clear, you're not saying for people to underestimate the threat or being in a denial process about this. It's not about. Well, let me explain why I'm asking this. For some people, staying in the positive is faking. Like, oh, nothing is going on, so I'll go to the beach.
Oh, I see.
It's not what you're saying, right? What you're saying is you have to be present and to understand that this is a complicated situation.
Yeah, you have to be. You have to take precaution, of course. Stay at home, and especially if you're in one of these people that have a heart condition or a diabetes condition or whatever. Stay at home, but be grateful for what happens. Maybe your kids are delivering food to your doorstep. Thank you. Yes. Maybe the sun is shining and you do have a patio, so you can go outside and sit in the sun. Thank you. And maybe you have friends who call you and actually care. Lovely.
Okay, so gratitude.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time. Let me just thank you, because the reason why we are here is because I've done this, this changing process from 2012 to now. And that happened also because of you and because of the things you told me on the right moments. So thank you for that. Thank you for being here.
That makes me so super happy to be able to, help you spark something different in you. And you are sparking so much in other people.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time. Okay?
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. Bye.